Have you ever noticed how the spiraling pattern of seeds in a sunflower resembles the spiral of a galaxy? Or how the branching structure of neurons in your brain mirrors the cosmic web of galaxy superclusters? These similarities are not mere coincidences but manifestations of universal patterns that connect phenomena across vastly different scales, from the microscopic architecture of your brain to the vast expanse of the cosmos. In 1999, neuroscientist Olaf Sporns of Indiana University first proposed the concept of the connectome, a comprehensive map of neural connections in the brain. This revolutionary approach to understanding brain organization revealed something remarkable: the human brain, with its 86 billion neurons forming approximately 100 trillion connections, organizes itself according to specific network principles that optimize information transfer while minimizing energy costs. These networks follow what scientists call small-world architecture, a system where most nodes connect to their neighbors, but some form long-range connections that serve as shortcuts across the network. This organization allows for both specialized processing in local clusters and efficient global communication. The human connectome follows this principle perfectly, creating a balance that supports our remarkable cognitive abilities. What makes this truly astonishing is that in 2008, astrophysicists analyzing data from the Sloan Digital Sky Survey discovered that the cosmic web, the largest known structure in the universe, spanning billions of light-years, exhibits the same small-world network properties. This vast cosmic structure consists of filaments of dark matter and galaxies forming an intricate web, with galaxy clusters at the intersections of these filaments, much like the hubs in your neural network. The similarities between neural networks and cosmic structures are not just visually striking but mathematically significant, explains Dr. Franco Vazza, an astrophysicist at the University of Bologna. In 2017, Vazza and his neurologist colleague Alberto Faletti published a groundbreaking comparative analysis between the cosmic web and the human brain's neuronal network. Their study revealed stunning quantitative similarities in connectivity, clustering, and information capacity between these systems despite their 12-order-of-magnitude difference in scale. The resemblance goes beyond superficial pattern matching. Both systems show remarkably similar levels of complexity and organization. Both exhibit a balance between randomness and order that maximizes their functional capacity. And both develop through processes that, while vastly different in their specifics, follow similar mathematical principles. These parallels point to something profound: the existence of fundamental organizational principles that govern complex networks across all scales of the universe. But what are these principles, and what drives them? To understand this, we need to look at a concept called emergence, the process by which complex systems develop properties and patterns not predicted by their individual components. Emergence often results from simple rules repeated across multiple scales, creating what mathematicians call self-similarity. One of the most famous examples of self-similarity in nature is the fractal, a geometric pattern that repeats itself at different scales. Mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot first formalized the concept of fractals in 1975, but these patterns had been observed in nature long before. From the branching of trees and blood vessels to the jagged outlines of coastlines and mountains, fractals appear everywhere in our world. The human brain exhibits fractal-like properties in both its physical structure and its function. The branching pattern of dendrites, the tree-like extensions of neurons that receive signals, follows fractal geometry. This arrangement maximizes the surface area available for connections while minimizing the volume and energy required, a mathematical optimization solution that nature discovered through evolution. Remarkably, the large-scale structure of the universe also displays fractal-like properties. Galaxies cluster together to form superclusters, which in turn form even larger structures, creating a hierarchy of organization that repeats across different scales. This pattern continues up to what cosmologists call the homogeneity scale, approximately 100 megaparsecs, about 326 million light-years, beyond which the universe begins to look uniform. But the similarities do not end with structural patterns. Both the brain and the universe are fundamentally information processing systems. Information is physical, Nobel laureate physicist Frank Wilczek has noted, referring to the fundamental connection between information and energy established by physics. This principle manifests in both your brain and the cosmos. Your brain processes information through electrochemical signals traveling along neural pathways. These signals follow the paths of least resistance while maximizing information transfer, a principle known as neural Darwinism, first proposed by Gerald Edelman in 1987. The connections that prove most efficient and useful are strengthened, while those that are not gradually weaken and disappear, creating an optimized network shaped by experience and learning. In the cosmic web, gravity plays a similar role in shaping information transfer. Matter flows along gravitational gradients, forming structures that efficiently channel energy and information across vast distances. Galaxies and galaxy clusters form at the intersections of these flows, becoming the information processing hubs of the universe, much like the highly connected regions of your brain. This parallel became even more intriguing in 2020 when research led by Dr. Zoe Franklin at the University of Cambridge revealed that both systems follow similar information theoretical principles. Using entropy measures borrowed from information theory, her team showed that both brain networks and cosmic structures organize themselves to balance information capacity with energy efficiency. The most efficient information processing systems in nature seem to converge on similar organizational principles regardless of scale, Franklin explained when presenting her findings at the International Astronomical Union Symposium. This suggests there may be universal laws governing complex network evolution that we are only beginning to understand. This convergence of organization raises a profound question: why do systems as disparate as brains and the cosmic web evolve similar architectural solutions? The answer appears to lie in the mathematical constraints of network optimization. Both systems face similar challenges, maximizing connectivity and information processing capability while minimizing energy expenditure and physical distance. When confronted with these constraints, evolution and physical laws independently arrive at similar solutions. This principle was mathematically formalized by physicist Geoffrey West and his colleagues at the Santa Fe Institute through their work on scaling laws in complex systems. Their research, published in numerous papers since the late 1990s, demonstrates that diverse systems, from organisms to cities to corporations, all follow predictable mathematical relationships in how their properties scale with size. One of the most compelling manifestations of these scaling principles is found in the branching patterns seen throughout nature. From the bronchioles in your lungs to river networks to lightning bolts, branching structures appear repeatedly as solutions to the problem of efficient distribution. These patterns minimize the energy required to transport resources through a system, whether those resources are oxygen, water, electricity, or, in the case of your brain, information. The same optimization principles appear in cosmic structures. Dark matter and ordinary matter flow along the paths that minimize gravitational potential energy, forming filaments that efficiently channel material across vast cosmic distances. Galaxy clusters emerge at the intersections of these filaments, creating nodes that serve as the processing centers of the cosmic network, remarkably similar to how information hubs form in your brain. These parallels extend to the way both systems grow and develop. Your brain begins as a relatively uniform structure that becomes increasingly complex and specialized through development. Initially, neurons form many connections, but as development progresses, many of these connections are pruned away through a process of selective optimization. The connections that remain form an efficient network optimized for information processing. Similarly, the early universe was nearly uniform, with only tiny fluctuations in density. Over billions of years, gravity amplified these fluctuations, drawing matter into increasingly complex structures. Some regions became denser, while others emptied out, creating the cosmic web we observe today, a process analogous to the selective pruning and strengthening of neural connections in brain development. Both systems start simple and grow complex through processes of differentiation and integration, explains neurophysicist Carl Sagan, whose free energy principle provides a theoretical framework for understanding brain organization. And both optimize for information processing while minimizing energy expenditure. The implications of these similarities are profound and far-reaching. They suggest that the organizational principles we observe in our brains and the cosmos are not arbitrary but represent optimal solutions to universal problems of network organization. These solutions emerge independently at different scales because they represent fundamental mathematical optima. This perspective offers a new way to understand the relationship between mind and cosmos. Rather than seeing humans as insignificant specks in an incomprehensibly vast universe, we can recognize that our brains embody the same organizational principles that shape the cosmos itself. The patterns of thought in your mind mirror the patterns of galaxies in deep space, not because one caused the other, but because both are expressions of the same underlying mathematical principles. This connection was powerfully articulated by physicist Carl Sagan when he famously said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." This statement takes on new significance in light of the structural similarities between brains and the cosmic web. The human brain may be, in some sense, the universe's way of creating a microcosm of its own structure, a system capable of comprehending the whole from which it emerged. This perspective has inspired research at the intersection of neuroscience and cosmology. In 2019, computational neuroscientist Christopher Reese at the University of California, Berkeley, developed neural network models based on cosmic web structures. His research showed that these cosmologically inspired networks performed remarkably well at certain pattern recognition tasks, suggesting that the organizational principles of the universe may have practical applications in artificial intelligence and computational neuroscience. "We did not expect that algorithms based on cosmic structure would perform so efficiently for neural computation," Reese noted in his publication in Neural Computation. It suggests that nature has converged on similar solutions at vastly different scales. The discovery of these cross-scale similarities has also influenced our understanding of consciousness itself. Integrated information theory, developed by neuroscientist Giulio Tononi in 2004, proposes that consciousness emerges from complex information integration in neural networks. The theory suggests that consciousness is fundamentally related to the way information is organized and integrated within a system. When viewed through the lens of the similarities between brain networks and cosmic structures, this theory takes on a provocative dimension. If consciousness emerges from particular patterns of information integration, and if similar patterns exist at the cosmic scale, could some form of integrated information processing, perhaps not consciousness as we understand it, but something analogous, exist at larger scales? Physicist Sir Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff have proposed in their orchestrated objective reduction theory that quantum processes in brain microtubules may play a role in consciousness. Their theory suggests connections between quantum physics, gravity, and consciousness that, while highly speculative, point to potential deeper links between mind and the fundamental structure of reality. While many scientists remain skeptical of these more speculative ideas, the structural parallels between brains and cosmic networks have opened new avenues for interdisciplinary research that continues to yield insights. The emerging field of network cosmology uses tools from network science to analyze cosmic structures, while neuroscientists increasingly employ concepts from physics and information theory to understand brain function. These connections have practical implications as well. Understanding the mathematical principles that govern complex networks can help us develop more efficient artificial neural networks, design better urban transportation systems, create more resilient power grids, and even address ecological challenges by understanding how networks of species interact within ecosystems. Perhaps most profound is how this connection changes our perspective on our place in the universe. The human brain, this 3-pound organ inside your skull, contains organizational patterns that mirror those of the cosmos itself. Your thoughts, emotions, and consciousness emerge from networks structured similarly to the largest patterns we can observe in the universe. As you contemplate these connections, consider that the very act of comprehension, the firing of neurons that allows you to understand these words, follows patterns that echo the dance of galaxies across cosmic time. The boundaries between the inner universe of mind and the outer universe of stars begin to blur, revealing a deeper unity underlying apparent diversity. This does not mean the universe is conscious in the way you are, nor that consciousness somehow created the cosmos. Rather, it suggests that the same mathematical principles govern the organization of matter and energy across all scales, from neurons to galaxies. These principles represent fundamental constraints on how complex, efficient systems can be organized, constraints that apply whether the system is made of neurons, stars, or anything else. The next time you look up at the night sky, remember that the patterns of stars you see reflect, in their organization, the very patterns that make your observation possible. You are not separate from the cosmos but are, in a very real sense, the universe organized in such a way that it can contemplate itself. The hidden pattern linking your brain and the universe is not just a curiosity but a profound reminder of our deep connection to everything that exists.